Thank you for the lovely introduction. I have a question. How many of you would like to start your own business? Today, someday? Okay, quite a few. How many of you would want to work in somebody's business? It's been in an MNC, in a multinational company, of course, or in a small and medium enterprise or in a startup. Yeah? So, if you realize we are in a business-driven world, either we are starting our own business or we are helping somebody's business to grow. So, what if the core of every business that we start has impact-driven thought process? I invite you to think the success of your organization. If you don't have one, start to imagine that you have one. So the success of your organization depends on how motivated and how dedicated is your lowest level member is ready to strive. Not someone, I'm not talking about the best polished resumes and the one with qualified and fancy degrees. Of course, they do have their part to play. I'm talking about someone who is unmatched focus, resilience, determination, but somewhere has been missed. The one who doesn't have a plan B, the one for whom your organization growth is the only way to survive for them. That's the person that I'm talking about. Yes, we do miss the qualified resumes. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm not talking about those professionals. I'm talking about someone who we have missed the one question that we need to ask, absolute essential. Who is at the base? Who holds my foundation? We all think that talent is in cities, right? And that's where the future is, that's where the skills are. What if I invite you to think a little bit deeper and look at the side which we have ignored for a longest period of time? Only 27.2% of women in India are in the workforce. This is a very, very low standard globally. And in rural areas, this number has gone even lower. Not because they don't want to work, because jobs don't reach them. And I don't say this. This is a survey by World Bank and a very recent survey by World Bank in 2023. I invite you to think, have we missed something here? Is there something that we can think of, someone who is dedicated and working, ready to work, ready to get that opportunity on which their survival depends? What if the future workforce is not in cities but in rural areas? I'll lead by example. Just let's zoom in. Let's imagine a rural household. Let's imagine a rural woman, a rural mother in that house. She wakes up at 4 a.m. She cleans the house, she cooks, she tends to the cattle, she gets the kids ready if at all they end up going to school. Otherwise, she still gets the kids ready. She tends to the fields. She goes along with her spouse to work on the fields. So physically and financially, she is also working equally hard to put food on the table. And yet, she earns nothing. Yet, there is no penny to her name. Such women are not found on job portals on LinkedIn. Such women are not looking to create their own startups someday. They're not looking for their side business along with the jobs like most of us are doing in cities. Such women are looking for not appreciation, but dignity, but just to be seen, to be heard, not on a podium like this, but on something as simple as sitting in their homes while serving dinner. That's where she's looking to be heard. She's not looking for vacations. She's not looking for luxuries. All she's looking for is dignity, is roof on her head, or a not leaking roof on her head, school, uniforms, books, that's what she's looking for. She's not looking for raise and promotions. She's only looking for survival. She's looking for something as basic as a ceiling fan in her house. So her dreams are not hers, they are for her family. And for that, she would give everything that she has to you. Now imagine if you channel this focus and determination into your workforce. That kind of determination is not charity. That is strategy. That's smart business. That is what I'm talking about. If you bring that focus to her, and why would she want that? Most importantly, why would she want to do that? She has either been abandoned by her husband who moved to the city. She has either been sent back by her in-laws after losing her husband with a girl child and no security. She is under huge debt because of reasons best known, like alcoholic husband or family member. So she is the one who is ready to give up anything and everything for that one opportunity. Agar mere gaon mein naukri hoti to, because she is not able to leave her family and migrate to city like her spouse has and forgot about her. So that I invite you to think about channelizing that focus, that determination into your workforce. This is business. This is strategy. This is not charity in any form. She is looking to be a part of your workforce. She is looking to be a part of, to be a contributor in your workforce. She wants to be trained. She wants to be heard and be recognized in that professional setup, and wants to be a real contributor, not someone for side hustles, or she is not someone who would who would go for startup funding someday, or who would become a freelancer after taking training from you in your organization. She is there to stay. And this is not one woman's story. It's a collective. It's a movement. When one woman earns and grows, she brings two more. Not because she wants to compete, but because they want to sit together, work together, grow together. She cross-trains, she works with them, and they really put together their heart and soul in every order. They put together their every bit in that stewing, in that product that they are dispatching, and that's how they grow, they multiply, and so does your organization. This is not rocket science. This is as simple as it can be. And this is what we brought in iVillage model. We did not grow solo entrepreneurs, we grew collective workforce. When one woman starts to earn, she reaches to the village, she brings in more, she creates a ripple effect, and more women join in. They are there to stay. They are not, the most important thing in that aspect is they are not looking to switch jobs for 10% growth. They are there to stay. Their loyalty is generational, and that is your most untapped, best investment that you can have. That is your best asset that one can have as an entrepreneur, as a business. Let's see if there have been businesses around it, if there have been businesses which built around this concept. So if you have heard the name of Arvind Eye Care, it's a very known eye care hospital, chain of hospitals in South India. How did they start? They brought in rural women around their community. They trained them to be their surgical partners, and they do life-changing surgeries now at fraction of the cost as per global average, and very, very high patient satisfaction. They're only able to do because they brought in that rural women. We all know Fab India. Fab India has been able to create an empire based on collective artisans, and 60% of them were women. Fab India did not scale up by centralizing. They decentralized everything, and they grew by those grassroots hands which were of rural artisans, women artisans. Very, very prominent example, Grameen Bank of Bangladesh. Muhammad Yunus, he started in 1976, and that was built on women, as the rural women at the core, where they tapped into their loyalty and their resilience, and that bank now gives loans to millions, 9 million, over 9 million people. 97% lenders is women, and they have 98% success rate in giving back the loans. So the evidence is very clear. When you build a business at the grassroots level, with women at the grassroots level, your business grows, it thrives. It just doesn't grow, it grows deeper, stronger, and longer. In a survey done by Deloitte, it was deduced that purpose-driven organizations earn 42% more than other organizations in the long run. Another survey done by EY in 2023 resulted that when you have inclusive workforce, or when you have social-driven supply chain, you are growing 3 times faster in your business as compared to your competitors, and you have a better retention rate. This, again, is not CSR. This is smart business. This is sustainable business. When you bring in women, rural women, the family grows. When the family grows, the community grows. And when the community grows, your business grows. It is simple maths. The question is, why have we not thought about this yet? What is stopping us? Do we think rural means unskilled? Is it because we think rural women means donation, charity? I invite you to think again. Do you also think somewhere that loyalty cannot be built at the base? It can only be built at your headquarters, in your boardroom? The truth is, they don't need motivation. They are already motivated. Survival is their motivation. Meet Shikha. She was under huge debt because of her husband, and now she is a grade A operator, and she is taking care of 3 kids, putting food on the table and running all the expenses that she needs to. Meet Pinky. She's a widow and was sent back by her in-laws when her husband died of a very sudden death in an accident, and they kept the daughter with them. She was shattered, devastated, and that's when she got an opportunity. She joined, she worked her way hard, became a patent master. She learned much more advanced skills level, and then she became a team leader and now leads a team of 15 operators. She, along the way, got the confidence back and reached out to the court for custody of her child. After a long legal battle, court granted custody to her, seeing the financial stability that she brings to her family. I don't think we need more proof, because when women get opportunity, we understand this somewhere, they show up. They show up every time, on time, with focus, because they know what is at stake. A better roof, a ceiling fan, notebooks in the backpack, shoes for their kids to go to school, a better life for their children and their family. Survey says women who are managing income of their families reinvest 90% of that income into the growth of their family, into upgrading the standard of their family, nutrition, health, education, as compared to men who reinvest about 30 to 40%. That's a growth survey by Clinton Growth Initiative. And that is why when you have women at the center of your business, you just grow. There is no other choice. You grow. When you include women in your growth plan, rural at grassroots level, you give them hope for that dignity they have been looking for. And that is the business plan, because that hope becomes their success matrix for their dignity. And that is that is your most invested workforce you can ever have. Because so with your growth is their growth, so they give you everything that they have. I think somewhere we all feel that rural women is liability, but I invite you to think, is there a hidden potential? So if you are thinking of building a business, start from the base. Think who is at the base. If you are thinking of growing the business, look at the areas which have been ignored by others. If you want to grow with purpose, include those who have been excluded. If you have women at the center of your business, you are looking at laser sharp focus. You bring in that desperation, that survival spirit, that grit, and which makes your business unstoppable. Because when you give them that dignity, that pride they have been looking for, they give you everything that you can think of. And that is a good business. No, that is a great business. That is business with impact, and that is profit with purpose, and that is the future. Thank you.